Hi guys, welcome to my trading desk. Thought I'd give you a quick tutorial on how I get things ready for the month. So let's get into it. So this is my watch list, one I've set up over the weekend before the month begins. I like to know what stocks I'll be trading, what stocks I won't be trading. If it's not on this list, I won't be trading them. Unless, of course, it comes up in my screener over the next couple of days. I'll be adding some, removing stuff. But generally, these are the sort of stocks that I would be trading over the next coming months. So I like to get to know them before the month begins. The top of my watch list always has the sort of market indexes and how the market's doing generally. The SPY, S&P 500 and the NDX is ones that I'm really, the ones that I really focus on. Of course, the FFTY, which has a lot of my growth stocks in there as well. So I like to see how this is forming as well. So the NDX I usually have on my screen on an intraday basis. Just because I like to see how it's performing. Usually the hourly one I put up here. For example, as we're seeing here, there's some consolidation going up here, some gap up going on here. This will probably give me the 5-minute chart. Here we go, reset. So I can see it's quite healthy up here. What I wouldn't want to see is it drop below this sort of line here. Right there, so I'll be watching these key levels and see if we can break out of there. We'll probably get some good action, but I don't really like this massive gap up. If I see this sort of action going on, I'd probably be a little bit cautious, just knowing the market we're at the moment. So what I don't want it to do is then go down like that. I'd rather it go up personally or go sideways, because I tend to trade the stocks that have got good relative strength. So this is always up here. I'm always cognizant of these and making sure that we're in a good market. Right, let's get into my watch list. So this is my current holdings right now. I'm only holding one stock. I'm mainly cash at the moment. The market hasn't been acting right, so I'm not trading when the market is not in my favor. Ones that I'm looking at today, these are my A+ setups. These are ones that I've already done my homework on. I know what I'm looking for. I already have my sort of little, I don't know, fundamentals just at a glance here. So I'm looking for a triple confirmation. The triple confirmation for me is the price, so it kind of goes above the pivot point of 37.42. I'm looking for volume. I'm looking for above this white line, which is a 30-day average. I want to see bars like this. I want to see bars like that. And I'm looking for the RS line. I want it to go, the relative strength to be, it's not in an uptrend, but I want to see it hit a new high or have a blue dot here. The next one I've got is the statistics from Market Smith, and you know, I know here the Market Smith data isn't good, or the fundamentals isn't good, and I've got that here, not good fundamentals. However, the pros are really tight action, and then the play I've got here is the cup and handle pattern that I'm looking for. But I really want to see tight consolidation here, and I look for the volume intraday buzz on TC2000, which is here. I look for the volume buzz down here just to make sure that you know, the volume and the price action are in sync with each other. So today I'm looking at trading 2 stocks only. The market is quite choppy at the moment, so I'm quite cautious about the ones that I trade. A bit like, so I've got IRM and COHR. They're both on my screens here, left to right. I look at them on the 5-minute charts just to see how they're doing here, and on breakout day, like for example, I want to see volume like this. So I'm really liking this volume action here, and I can see it's trying to go pre-market as well. I'll probably wait to see if there's a retest, but this is exactly what I was looking for on here right now. This sort of volume bar, these sort of volume bars are very rare in there. Anyway, so the next ones here are, so my 2 stocks left and right, COHR and IRM. Here we go. So the next one is my B plus setup. So these are setups that I really like. I probably wouldn't take if they broke out today, because I want to see a little bit more, a few more days of consolidation, a bit like what I've wrote here. Just want 3 more days. I want it to consolidate around this grey box. I've got grey boxes and yellow lines. Yellow lines for me visually tell me what I'm looking for. So maybe I'm looking for a pullback here, touch the pivot point here, pull back again, and then break out on high volume. If I don't have the yellow line, I already know what I'm looking for, and I'll probably just have the grey box. But I always visually have the grey box or yellow line so that I know what I'm looking for on the day of breakout. Again, I write it out as well just so that I don't forget. I've also got the sort of the market smith data I'm looking for. I usually kind of have what I'm looking for here. If I'm looking for a VCP pattern or a cup and handle pattern, I've already got it written out. But I kind of see my pattern as it moves up to my A, as I move it from here to here, and then I'm like, okay, this is the pattern I'm looking for. I know that the RS rating is 98, and I know the composite rate. I mean, I've got the statistics on the fundamentals already, but I like to write down what my pros and cons are. So I've got 25 million float, I've got flag forming on the weekly, I've got blue sky, which means that there's not much, there's no resistance at the top here, and the cons are no high quality ownership. I like to see high quality ownership on the IBD mutual fund index, which gives me a little bit of conviction to know that there are big players in the market here. But this is good, like flag forming on a weekly. I would, I mean, I usually go on the weeklies, but this is what I was seeing on the weeklies. And just when I'm on my Sunday and I'm looking at it more closer, it gives me a little bit more detail. So these are my plays over the next few days, and these are what I want to see forming. So then I've got here C plus setups where I'm like, they're near the pivot points, but I need to see a few more days of consolidation. I always have my sort of stuff that I'm looking at here. So it's really bad fundamentals. It's in the oil and gas sector, industry group, sorry, which is great, but everything else is really bad. So it's solely a technical play. I'm not looking to hold this more than what the price action tells me. And then I've got the rest of them. Like I might have sort of I might have little things coming out here where it reminds me on the time of breakout to give me a conviction. I might be like, okay, this has got low, the volume is tapering down, stuff that I really like. So this is my C plus setups, and then I've got ones that I'm looking a little bit more further on after the, during the month, ones that I like. For example, TGT I like, but I haven't seen it sort of touch the pivot point many times, so I'm not really keen on this. I want to see it pull back here and come back. So these are ones that are on my list that are, kind of setting up, but just not, they're not C, and I don't really like to trade stocks that are not A plus. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. I've got fund ownership details, and I've got sort of more details about it. But others in the group, I know this is a semiconductor group, and I know others in the group like AMAT and others like UCTT have kind of jumped. So I'm wary of that. But this sort of stuff means that I don't have any FOMO, and I'm not like, oh, I need to trade this right now. I've got my game plan for the month. This is probably going to come into fruition over the next couple of weeks. This is probably going to come into fruition over the next 2 weeks. This will be over the next week and a half, 2 weeks, a week maybe, and this is this week. So yeah, that's my kind of game plan that I go into every single month. I've got my TC2000, which I could do my scans and my intraday stuff. For example, NNOX over the weekend, the FDA approval came. I did a trade on this earlier today, pre-market. Just a cheeky one, not much. Here we go. So during this rise up here, there was a cup here, and then a handle forming here. So I saw that. So I see this really tight consolidation, and I bought on the first 5-minute candlestick to make a new high, which I bought via what do I use? IBKR and then NOx. So then you've got here to here, it made its move. I think I'm still in it a little bit, but I've taken out a lot. I didn't catch the top of it. I probably came out 10% here. But yeah, again, I've got my yellow line. I drew this way before this actually happened. I did know 12 o'clock was going to be a big time where people will come into the market, 12 o'clock UK time. And I saw big volume on the breakout here, and I saw it jump up with the RS line here in green as well. So I had a lot of good things going for it, and I do know that this stock can really move when it wants to. So that's what I do on my intraday, and this is the platform that I use to trade. And I've got scans and stuff like that I go through every single day. On the right here, I've got a snapshot of what the market's looking like. I like to see big green squares. It tells me the market is healthy. But this is, again, if I'm sort of doing things on my main screen here and I'm looking to the right and I see half of the board green, I know that the market is good. And if I look to the right here and most of it is red, visually I know there's some blood in the streets. So it gives me a visual representation of what's happening in the market. And throughout the months, I'll probably be looking at some of the mistakes that I made, some things that I would like to improve on. So I have it written down here. And again, these are key levels that I'm looking at on the day.